In this video series, I will break down 22 Y Combinator rules that all startups should master. I'm going to go in depth into each essential Y Combinator rule, so stick around because you don't want to miss this next one.
Trying to do two things at once means failing at both. The truth is, startups die of indigestion, not starvation. Hey, my name is Arjun, founder and CEO of doola.com, a Y Combinator-backed startup. Founders try to launch 5 features. Instead, you really need to focus on what's the one thing that moves the needle. That means instead of doing things in parallel, how do you do things sequentially, focusing on what actually moves the needle? In Doola's case, we focused one thing at a time. We nailed formation, then we added in taxes, then we added in bookkeeping, then we added in analytics. At the end of the day, if you pick one hair on fire problem and solve it really well, you then earn the right to move to the next one. Now, full confession, I said really casually that we did formation, then tax, then bookkeeping, then analytics, but we have made the mistake of trying to do way too much at the same time. And I want to share this example of how we learned this the hard way with B2C versus B2B. Doola historically has been this interesting business model of B2B2C. And what I mean by that is we serve a lot of solopreneurs. Think someone who wants to start a Shopify business or a digital online business. These folks are technically consumers or Cs that are starting an LLC, which is a B, and we as Doola as a B are B to their business LLC to their C. That is a completely different messel, though, than going out and selling to actual businesses. And by the way, if you're a single member LLC, I'm not saying you don't actually have a business, but I mean selling to a mid-market or an enterprise or a much larger business, your traditional B2B motion. So the mistake we made is when we first started to work with B2B partners, we didn't have the muscle or the DNA to do that. We didn't have an account management function. We didn't have proper billing cycles to bill net 30 and send proper invoices. We didn't have the right expectations to say, hey, when it comes to B2C customers, you can't really have discounts because at scale, how do you manage discounts for thousands of customers? But for B2B, everything is a discount or everything is a negotiation. I share this because all of these mistakes meant when it came to our first B2B partners, some of them churned because we didn't have the muscle or the DNA to know instead of doing things in parallel, we should have just focused sequentially. Really focused on a B2C motion, get really good there, and then properly apply your focus on B2B. I'll give you an analogy here in case that B2C, B2B analogy didn't fully hit. Think of this as a laser versus a flashlight. A flashlight sends light everywhere, but it's dim. A laser concentrates all of its energy on one tiny point, and the strongest lasers can cut through steel. You as a business should be the laser. That doesn't mean you can't eventually build flashlights, but if you have the laser and develop product 1 and then go to product 2, that is how you cut through steel, that is how you attack your wedge and ultimately build something that can impact thousands, if not millions of users. That is rule number 16. To see the full set of 22 rules that make up the Y Combinator Pocket Guide, watch this video next.